It's a midweek edition of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. It's also the last day of April. Oh, finally, the month is coming to an end. Welcome once again to Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, where we bring you the best. If it matters, then you get to hear it from us right here on Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. I'm not alone today in the studio. Unlike Monday, when I was alone, it was a solo flight. But today, I have a full complement of, my colleagues right here in the studio, and I'll let them introduce themselves. I have my colleague right here, and also a public affairs analyst to look at the newspaper review together. Then after that, we'll dive deep into the conversations of the day. Emeka Daniel is my name. Thank you for joining us once again. Good morning, Tokwe.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you this morning?
Very well. I'm doing great.
All right. Good morning, Nigeria. Thank you very much for having me here. My name is Tokwe Ajijololuwola. It's a beautiful morning. It's lovely to be here on Morning Spring again on Western Spring Television. This is where we give you the headlines, making the faces of the dailies, giving you quality and details of the topical issues through the mouths of our analysts right here. Where we'll move to other topical issues, out there facing the country and right there in the world, bringing you details of the stories, bringing you quality, dissected, analysis of all of the issues around there. A beautiful morning to you again. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. And we also have someone else here. We have a public affairs analyst joining us on the newspaper review segment. Good morning, Ladiji.
Good morning to you, Tokwe, and good morning to you, Daniel. It feels great to be on the show again this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. We go on a short break right now. When we return, we go straight to the newspaper review. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We go straight to the front pages of the newspapers. We start with the Daily Trusts. Okowa's choice as running mate cost Atiku 2023 presidency. That's according to Moro. That's the minority leader of the Senate, Abba Moro, speaking right there, saying Okowa's choice as running mate cost Atiku 2023 presidency. Quite interesting. A lot of Nigerians would not agree with that. Ladiji, what do you think? Saying Okowa's choice cost Atiku presidency, is that really valid? Do you think a lot of people have that opinion?
A lot of people like myself are of the opinion that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar doesn't have loyalists. He only has a lot of people around him who only want to take out of his money. Don't forget Daniel Boala, one of his media head during the campaign. In fact, he was the campaign spokesperson. Before the end of the tribunal, he has left Atiku. And now he's an appointee of the current president. And also, a lot of folks, don't forget also that there were 5 PDP governors who worked against their own party, during the 2023 election. And here you have the vice presidential candidates, whom a lot of PDP boys, then were saying, he has a very high political value, and he can do whatever he will do to make sure Atiku becomes the president. However, he even lost his state to a Peter Obi, who is running for the president for the first time. So I won't say it was because of him alone that Atiku Abubakar did not, get the presidency, but as a vice president, Shettima delivered Borno State for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He delivered. He was able to gather the number of votes needed. And, a couple of other northern states, at least they picked, some of the needed numbers there also to make them. So for me, well, it depends. It depends on the angle you are viewing it from. But, Okowa wasn't really there for Atiku. And now he has the camp. It shows that he wasn't truly, because also he said in an interview yesterday that he wasn't even really happy, deputizing Atiku for the, president. Nigerian politicians, they say this today and tomorrow.
With both sides of their mouths.
And you have to be very careful when you listen to them.
Absolutely. But some PDP chieftains are of the opinion that Atiku himself actually cost them that ticket, because we just had someone from the north who had ruled for 8 years, and they said presidency should have just moved to the south, that the choice of fielding Atiku was a big mistake.
Well, they should question, the party itself the party should question itself. Why? Because you had a delegate congress in Abuja where dollar reigned. So what happened? You should question yourself. And also the party, right from the word go, don't forget that prior to the primaries of all the parties, PDP chieftains were saying, okay, we wait and see how it goes. If the party will be zoning it, if the party will say, okay, the Southerners, please, you alone will contest. But the party threw it open. Anybody can contest. And the highest bidder won. The person who can spend more dollar won. So why are they now crying foul? If the party hierarchy had said, okay, let's give it to the Southerners, you guys should compete amongst yourselves, they would know that this will, like you mentioned, Buhari just left power. And people have been shouting, let the power return to the South. And you guys are fielding another, northerner. Apparently a lot of people will not be happy with that. So, well, both Atiku, the party, actually cost themselves. And I hope they put their house in order, because again, it's not looking good for them. It's absolutely not looking good for them. That now the party currently is in disarray. You have a lot of people in PDP working against the party. A sitting governor of the PDP, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, is already saying, no, I'm supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027 election. This is something APC as the party will not take. They will expel the person. You said Nyesom Wike is your member, and he's saying that his job is to deliver Rivers State and Abuja to APC in 2027. You could see the funny thing that is happening to PDP. So a lot of people have the opinion that PDP is long dead and it is a buried party.
Okay. Moving on to other stories, still on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. FBI orders to release Tinubu probe reports Friday. FBI orders to release Tinubu probe reports Friday. That's talking about the drug allegations against Tinubu. The request filed by Aaron Greenspan requesting release of the results. So let's see what happens on Friday. Away from that, alleged money laundering, Achimugu to appear in court today. Alleged money laundering, Achimugu to appear in court today. ISWAP claims responsibility for Borno attack as death toll hits 26. ISWAP claims responsibility for Borno attack as death toll hits 26. Quite an unfortunate one right there. Moving on to other stories still on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. We trek for miles, Mina residents say as curfew bites. We trek for miles, Mina residents say as curfew bites. To find a story on page 15, page 35 rather, of the Daily Trust newspaper. Soldier to die by hanging for killing girlfriend. Soldier to die by hanging for killing girlfriend. Quite an unfortunate one right there. Away from that, how dozens of civilian JTF died defending communities in Borno, Yobe, Adamawa. How dozens of civilian JTF died defending communities in Borno,
Ojulari, let's see what we can do with this sector and, move this nation forward.
Absolutely. Quite interesting. And that'll be all from the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, so let's make a smooth transition to the Guardian newspaper this morning. And this here says, non-mobile at crossroads, seeks $3 billion lifeline as 10.3 million subscribers port. And right here, just under that, NFIU identifies betting, fintechs, others as enablers of kidnapping. Mr. Alabi, do you think, have you ever looked towards this direction before, talking about kidnapping and how, NFIU here is, I think, National Financial Intelligence, Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit right there this morning. Have you ever thought that the fintechs, or we should say betting, as aged kidnappers?
Well, I don't want to. They are a financial intelligence unit. I know they might have gathered, a couple of intelligence before they come out, but I don't want to agree with that. Why? Because even the fintechs that we're talking about, they are registered in a way. For you to open a fintech account or whatever now, you need your BVN, you need your NIN. Do you get? So these are, these are documents that has the details of every single Nigerian. If you have your BVN, easily you can be tracked. If you have your NIN, easily you can be tracked. So why the excuse? If we have all this information, in the United Kingdom, if you post any wrong thing from your house, say you are in, say you are in Birmingham, and you posted anything with your IP number alone, you are being tracked. But here we have in Nigeria that even on social media, on TikTok, you see bandits flaunting money that they collect. And we have no means of tracking them.
They're not being traced.
They are not being traced. And all these things, they have their IPs. And if it is somebody that speaks or say anything against the government, easily, before 24 hours, they can be picked.
But sorry, Ladiji, you said they have their IPs. What if they are using VPNs?
Daniel, even if you are using VPN, if intelligence agencies want
they should be able to crack it, absolutely.
They will track you. And don't let us be deceived. These are people, if there is political will for them to work, they have all it takes to work. But because most of the time our politicians have dipped their hands. Let me give you an instance. An investigative journalist, FIJ last year, did an investigation on a supposed smuggler in Ogun State. I don't want to mention him. And they push out the information. Okay, police, do your own investigation. They said, do you know who the police invited or who the police went after? The FIG guys. He has done a bit of your job. What you do is to invite the person. Then you can now later, if the person now say, no, I didn't do that, we prove. You can now invite the people. But no, you did not go after the alleged smuggler. You are going after the people investigating. So you see where it doesn't tally now. If we want to really do a serious job in this country, it won't take us a month before we round up all these kidnappers or whatever.
All right. This other headline here says, despite 40 trillion naira investment in 11 years, insecurity in Nigeria unacceptable. That's in line of what you just said right there. A federal government's witness testifies behind closed doors as Kano's terrorism trial begins. And just under that, on page 14, Agbakoba demands Natasha's retraction of sexual harassment claims. What do you say to that, Salapi?
Can you say that again?
Agbakoba demands Natasha's retraction of sexual harassment claims.
Well, you won't ask her to retract it. What I expected is that, if the Senate president knows he's not guilty of this. In fact, Natasha has said it times without number. Sue me. She told the wife of the Senate president, I'm not talking to you. It is your husband. If you think I've done anything wrong, sue me. Let's go to court. And I don't know. It is only in Nigeria that we want to, he's the Senate president. No. The office of the Senate president is different from Akpabio. Akpabio is just a first among equals. The same way he was elected was the same way Natasha was elected. It is the joint session of the Senate that appointed him. So, okay, out of all of us, you are the leader. Do you get? So he's not a bigger senator, quote unquote, than Natasha or anybody in the National Assembly. If there is, I remember during the 9th or 8th National Assembly, when Abubakar Bukola Saraki was the Senate president, there was an allegation against him. He recused himself, and his deputy, presided over the ruling. And when it was discovered that he was not guilty, he came back as the Senate president. It's not rocket science. Just to prove to the world that, see, what this lady is saying, I'm not guilty of it. Why don't you just, for a few days, recuse yourself and hold on? Let the whoever want to sit on the the committee, sit on it, and once you are found not guilty, you come back to to your seat. But you want to sit, you want to be a judge in your own case. Even if you are saying this to a deaf, they know you want to do something wrong with it. So for me, nobody should encourage Natasha to retract her statement. Let them go to the court, do whatever they want to do with it, and let the court decide.
All right. Quickly, let's wrap up this. PDP to sue Oborevori as a co-assures of articles imminent the camp. And beside it here, Lagos empowers 1,700 entrepreneurs through micro support initiative. And just below, MBS expands CPI, unveils daily price movement data. Kakao, presidential aide seek probe of illegal student loan deductions. And those headlines prominent right here on the Guardian newspaper this morning.
And from the Guardian newspaper, we move straight to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Nigeria in deficit of 300,000 doctors. That's according to the federal government. Nigeria in deficit of 300,000 doctors. Wow, that's a huge one there. With riders, earmarks over 110 billion naira to revamp 18 varsities medical schools. And another one right here, Kwara needs over 100 doctors. That's according to the Hospital Management Board. Aladiju, how do you react to this? Nigerian deficit of 300,000 doctors.
Well, it's not only doctors that we're in deficit of. We're in deficit of teachers. We're in deficit of a lot of professionals in this country. But going to the doctor that you mentioned, don't forget a minister under Buhari administration said, doctors can go, they can leave, they can do this, they can do that. When you don't take care of your professionals, they will look for greener pastures somewhere else. And that is why I've always been an advocate of the fact that no politician should earn more than teachers. No politician should earn more than doctors. No politician should earn more than even our soldiers, our police. These people are the ones putting their lives on the line for the citizens. But here we are. You go to, no, you don't need to travel outside. Go to teaching hospital around us here. At a time last year, a friend of ours was sick and they needed the attention of a neurosurgeon or somebody. The only one available in the state has relocated. The only one has relocated because now they work. In fact, many of them work overtime here.
Yeah, they are overworked.
And they earn like, they are not working. And when they go outside, I remember on Rave FM one day, a medical doctor from the United Kingdom was being interviewed. And he said, what I will make in Nigeria in a month, I can make in a day here. We all work to make good money for ourselves. If we take good care of these professionals, will they run away? What are the facilities available in the hospital? What are the facilities? Go to their offices. In ruins, but the office of an ordinary SA to the governor, SA that doesn't have any function, SA on entertainment, and our leaders are funny. A particular governor appointed an SA. The guy's job is just to be ringing bell for him. And these guys earn in thousands of naira.
Absolutely.
And we have medical doctors who cannot feed their family. We have teachers who cannot feed their families. We have police officers who they are not proud of being a police. We have soldiers that you are not feeding well. So it's a shame on us as a nation if we are not taking care of our profession and we are complaining 300,000 deficit. It's in fact, these are sectors where we should declare state of emergency because it is dangerous for us.
Absolutely, quite unfortunate one right there. Moving on to other stories still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Minimum wage, NLC kicks, says some states merely added 5,000 naira to workers' salaries. Minimum wage, NLC kicks, says some states merely added 5,000 naira to workers' salaries. You'll find a story on page 10 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Achimogu declares hunger strike as EFCC confirms arrest. Achimogu declares hunger strike as EFCC confirms arrest. Away from that, no attempted Boko Haram invasion in Oyo. Trending video outdated. That's according to Oyo Police Command. No attempted Boko Haram invasion in Oyo. Trending video outdated. That's from the Oyo Police Command. right there. Moving on to other stories, still on the front page of the Nigerian newspaper. How Nigeria can create prosperity that will last. That's according to Seyi Makinde right there, the Oyo State Governor. With the rider, appreciates Tinubu's wife for ICT Center in Ibadan. How Nigeria can create prosperity that will last. Seyi Makinde speaking right there. Away from that, Ekiti North leaders, stakeholders endorse Oyebanji deputy for second term. Ekiti North leaders, stakeholders endorse Oyebanji deputy for second term. Quite interesting. And right there in the middle of the page, you see the picture of the First Lady. From left, you have the wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shatima, then the First Lady of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, then, of course, Oyo State Governor right there at the government house during a function. Quite interesting. Mr. Ladi, let's look at this one. This story about this lady who was arrested, talking about Achimogo, the businesswoman who has declared hunger strike in EFCC custody. You know, we mentioned it yesterday. She has been ordered to appear before court, and she has been arrested by EFCC. Or what do you make of that? She declaring hunger strike.
Maybe she wants to fast for the good of the nation. when she's hungry, she will ask for food. But that's only light and mood, you know. She has earlier been invited by EFCC, but she failed to respond to the invitation. So they have all the justification. If you know you don't have any wrongdoing, if you are invited by the EFCC, you go. At most, you go with your lawyer. Do you get? And if there is anything, at least raise an alarm, let Nigerians know, okay, they want to hold you against your own wish. But like you mentioned, if you don't, it is only in this part of the world that you don't, somebody that you cannot trace, this is the source of our income. And there's such a person will throw a big party and you'll be like, no, that person spent a lot of money. From where? Where did she get the money from? I can tell you there are amounts of money you cannot spend in America without you being traced. I remember when I was in the university, my lecturer was giving an example of one person that went from Nigeria to US. I wanted to go and buy an SUV, cash down. The person who was attending to him had to say, hold on, sir, let me talk. Immediately, the person went to call FBI. That I have so and so person. And they ran a check on the person. They told him, you cannot pay. That is the way the system works. But here in Nigeria, somebody can choose to say, okay, I'm going to a car lot.
You can buy
and buy 10 cars. Worth 1 billion naira. No, the only thing you see people do is, and people will start, since people that you cannot trace, this is what they do. They'll buy 200 million naira car in Nigeria and we'll celebrate them.
Quite unfortunate. Away from that, finally from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, I told Atiku about my exit from PDP. He's leaving too. That's according to Okowa. I told Atiku about my exit from PDP. He's leaving too. Talking about Atiku leaving the PDP. With riders, PDP vows legal battle to reclaim mandate. Nobody can kill PDP. That's according to their chairman there, Damagum. The National Working Committee appoints South-South caretaker to oversee state chapter. Talking about PDP crisis here, Okowa is saying that he actually informed Atiku, that's his principal, during the 2023 general elections, that he was leaving the party and that Atiku is also leaving. Ladiji, would that come as a surprise? Atiku leaves the PDP at this point. Well,
it won't be as a surprise. Atiku was one of the people that brought PDP to where they are today. Don't forget, during Goodluck Jonathan regime, he, alongside Bukola Saraki, Aminu Tambuwa, and a couple of others went to join, in the formation of APC. But I think APC is outsmarting them now. What they think they know how to do. APC is doing better now. And we will perpetuate ourselves in power. And that's why APC is trying to. Don't forget, the Damagun you are talking about is also an ally of Nyesom Wiki, who is working with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And don't forget, the turner that they appointed as the zonal chairman, Sasa zonal chairman, is one of their boys. He's the one that organized a pro-Wiki rally, in Bayelsa against the wish of the governor. So it's a pointer to the fact that it's not looking good for PDP. It looks like PDP's crumble is just starting. And the earlier, the better for them. Those people who are working against the party should be expelled. If you have to start from the ground again. Because if you go into an election like this, now, so tell me, who currently is the national secretary of PDP? You don't know. Because you have two people laying claim to that.
Absolutely.
The problem with that is that if any candidate takes, a form to say, okay, I want to contest under the PDP, whose signature will, INEC recognize? Because you have two people laying claim. The National Work Committee is saying we are recognizing the person. The Governor Forum is saying we are recognizing this person.
The Governor Forum actually appointed someone just to stand in as a substantive national secretary. Again, their lousy brother, Wike, is saying, no, the Governor's Forum doesn't have the power. But when he was part of the governor, they had the power. You see how confused they are as a party. I think PDP really need to put their house in order. Else, Nigeria might, as well. Well, we might not be going towards that, but I think because they are the major opposition party, don't forget Labour Party also has its own crisis it's dealing with. After the Supreme Court sacked Aburi, this old man even came back with a new chair that he just bought with nylon on it. Lamidi Apapa. Now it's the one taking over the party. Nigeria politics is very funny. Quite interesting. And that brings us to conclusion of the newspaper review segment on the program this morning. I must say thank you very much to you, Olade Jalabi, for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Well, that'll be the end of the first segment, talk about the newspaper review segment, and we'll take a short break. When we return, we'll dive straight into the conversations for today. You don't want to miss any part of the show. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.